Hey, I'm Corey at Fidelis, and you're likely here because you're interested in this thing called real estate investing, and you'd like to avoid painful trial and error and shortcut your path to success. Well, after talking with hundreds and really thousands of aspiring real estate investors, many of them are students, I'm going to tell you the top 5 mistakes that keep 97% of real estate investors confused, frustrated, and broke. And I'm going to give you the solutions to each one. Because if you understand and avoid these mistakes, you can be light years ahead of everyone else trying and failing, and instead be living the dream of financial freedom, which is basically doing what you want when you want without worrying about the money. I agree, real estate is an amazing wealth building and cash flow vehicle that has changed countless lives for the better, but it's also ruined many people too. Now, I've been investing 20 years, 15 of them full time. I've bought and sold hundreds of houses. I began actually in the year 2000 in between deployments, and I've been doing it full time since I left the Marine Corps in 2005. I even went through the crash of 2008, which was a crushing blow to a full-time investor like me, but I eventually recovered and continued to achieve success in this industry. So I've had a lot of experience, and I've learned many things you should do and should not do, and I'm eager to share it with you so you can achieve financial freedom, basically living the life on your own terms. And that's the mission of my company, Fidelis Wealth Builders. So starting from the bottom, the first mistake I'm going to cover is actually a bonus. Let's call it number 6. And that is not knowing what a deal is. A deal is not simply buying a piece of real estate at a slight discount, hoping it goes up over time. That's speculation, and that's what we saw a lot of in 2008, during that crash. People just buying anything they wanted to. A real deal is a simple formula, actually. It's called ARV, which is after repaired value, basically the fixed up value, times 70% or 75% in a super hot market like now. And then you would subtract repairs. And that equals your maximum offer price. It's essentially just 2 numbers. It isn't that difficult to compare 2 or 3 similar houses and figure out what people are paying for them, homeowners to move in. And it's not that difficult to get 2 or 3 professionals to create a scope of work. So once you have these 2 numbers, it's just math. The 70% I use just means you have 30% equity after you buy it and fix it up to match the comparable sales you saw. Those are the ones you used, okay? So when you hear the word deal in real estate lingo, and especially as I continue with these mistakes of yours, it should be close to this formula. That's what a deal is, and if you're buying anything higher than this, you're taking unnecessary risk. Now, number 5, thinking real estate investing is as easy as shown on TV. While it's not complicated, it's not easy either, but they make it look so simple on TV, right? All you need to do is make an offer on MLS, have a wife who's a home designer, bang out some repairs, and you make $35,000. Can we agree if it were as easy as seen on TV, then everyone would be real estate millionaires, okay? It's not the case. As with most TV shows, yes, there is more behind the curtain that they don't show you, mainly that right now you're not buying anything on MLS without overpaying. Okay, there's just not enough value to create with I'm going to add design or add value or add on or do these things to create enough value to make profit after expenses. It's just not happening. Number 4, thinking you need the purchase money before you can acquire deals. Many investors are shopping for lenders when they don't have a deal and don't know how to fund a deal. Okay, that's the cart before the horse. There is more money than ever for buying at real estate deals. Okay, it used to be you needed Jane or Bob to make a private loan to buy a fixer-upper, and that was great. But now you have big institutions that are much easier to work with than a bank for the money to buy and fix a house and then sell it, sell it or hold it, whatever you want to do. It's not necessarily cheap money, but when your price is right, you care about speed, availability, and other important terms in the loan, not the cost of the money. So don't sweat this, okay? Get the skills of finding deals first before you're worried about money to buy something you don't know how to find yet. That's not the order you want to be in. Number 3, limiting your investment activity to your local market. It's a mistake to focus only locally instead of learning how to buy where the deals are. Because getting the deal is the most important skill to have, limiting your options to a local market doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, I know some people teach that you need to saturate your local market. Saturating the local market takes a boatload of marketing dollars, which is a hint on the number 1 mistake we're going to talk about moving forward. But successful investors buy where the deals are and where the markets are improving, not just where they live. And so the internet has made this easier than ever So I don't want you to worry about this, but broaden the market. It's okay. You can hire the same professional in another town as the professionals that live in your town. And they know just as much about their town as the investors you know in your town. When I say investors, I mean professionals like realtors and contractors and guys that you can trust. It's easy to find them. It's not like you're searching for a phone book in a town in Montana. It's super easy to find the rock stars online. And rock stars refer rock stars. Super easy to do. Now, number 2, thinking wholesaling is the easiest real estate model. Big mistake. This wholesaling word comes up a lot in the real estate investing space. And the pitch is something like avoid the money problem, avoid the repairs, etc. Just get the deal and make easy money selling that contract to another investor. The problem is wholesaling is an exit strategy, not an investing model. And in my 20 years of investing experience, wholesaling is the hardest thing to do, not the easiest. Now, that may seem counterintuitive since you're skipping the financing and repair management that we just talked about. But remember, buying a property at the right price, that ARV formula I shared with you, an earlier mistake, it is the hardest thing to do for reasons I'm going to cover in a minute. And in a wholesale, you have to contract the house cheaper than any other investor would pay. That's how you're supposed to make the money. Your deal is so good, you can sell that deal to another investor like me for more money. Like I would pay more for the house than you did to buy the deal from you. Well, the odds of you having the skill necessary to negotiate a deal cheaper than someone like me to come in and buy it from you is not easy. You have to have it cheaper than me, not more expensive than me, if you want to make money. If you got the contract at, oh, my price to this seller is $100,000. Well, I better pay $100,000 or more and have my profit in there with my R formula, or you're not going to make money because I would just pay you $100,000. You didn't make anything. You get it for $95,000 to sell it to me for $100,000, and then I go fix it and make my R formula profit. So it's hard. Getting the deal is the most important thing, and it's hard. Okay. So I've given you 5 of the 6, extra bonus mistake, the 6 mistakes that can make all the difference between success and failure in real estate. These mistakes, along with the number 1 mistake I'm about to share, are why 97% of investors fail to ever buy a deal. Not just not enough deals, ever buy a deal. Most can never buy a deal because they don't understand these mistakes. So I'll get right to it, okay? The number 1 mistake most investors make is underestimating the time and expense of marketing and sales to get a deal. And I could add to this and say most investors don't even know finding deals requires getting really good at marketing and sales and spending a lot of money on marketing and sales. They're not even told that usually when they get in a program or, hey, come do real estate. They don't even know that until they get like, oh, I'm in, and it's all about marketing. The traditional real estate models teach that real estate investing means learning how to market for potential seller leads, filter those leads into a sales process, hopefully evaluate the property, assuming it gets through your funnel so far, get creative in the contracts, and maybe get a price that fits the deal criteria I showed you above. Or you get so creative, it's not even about the deal formula. It's like I'm going to lease from this guy and then lease to that guy, make some money in the middle. And it's really creative, contractually to get done. But it's either way, it's a funnel where you need lots of leads on top. Okay, like a funnel, right? A funnel. You have lots of leads on the top and you hope something comes out at the bottom that makes you money. Well, that model is a business, not a hobby. And the hotter the market, the more time and money it takes for this process to produce income. And the reality is it never produces income for most people. Most end up spending a lot of time and money with nothing to show for it and end up frustrated and broke. Now, I can assure you the process does work. It just takes 10 times more resources than one would think, maybe more depending on the skills of the person, so they quit. Well, I don't want you to end up in the 97% who quit. I'd like you to be a 3%er. So you have a couple of options to avoid this mistake. One option is just to simply understand the expectations I've given you, that it's not an easy button, okay? You would just keep on grinding away at improving the marketing pieces, allocating money out of your income to keep sending those marketing pieces out, keep getting better at talking to sellers, potential sellers, right? They're just leads that they might sell or may not sell. And the persistent follow-up on, are you going to sell? Are you going to sell? Are you going to sell? Getting better at how to do the contracts, being a little more creative there, etc. You can get good at all those things. It will eventually pay off, okay? And making $35,000 on one house cures a lot of ills. It's like, oh, I made it. All the work happened. I can hire virtual assistants. Because once you do it once or twice, you can start hiring virtual assistant people to help get involved and get the process going and kind of keep the process going that you've already got in place. But it's a lot of moving pieces, a lot of moving parts to get that done, but it does work. Okay, many have done it successfully. It's just a very small percentage of people. Now, the second option, and the one I highly recommend, is to avoid this mistake entirely by eliminating the marketing and sales effort and buy through real estate auctions. Private sale auctions and tax sale auctions offer an ocean of properties that simply need to be bid on. It's just property research and bidding. It takes some time, but it's a much more certain numbers game. Far better than the cost and uncertainty of trying to get property owners to call you through marketing that sell at the right price. Auctions are where my team is having success right now buying deals at the right price, and where I think you should focus your effort to be successful too. Plus, it takes a lot less time and effort than anything else I've done in my 20-year investing career. Okay, I hope that says a lot to you. Okay, don't reinvent the wheel. Just do what the successful investors are doing, and that's what I'm sharing right now. So I hope that insight helps you avoid some major pitfalls and stay on track for success. As I said before, real estate can create cash and wealth like no other when done correctly. So you're in the right industry. You just need to do it correctly. So thanks again for giving me the time to share some wisdom in real estate with you. And I hope to have you on the Fidelis team soon, okay? No better time like the present. So I hope to see you inside. Thanks.